Hello and welcome to Untwisted Threads. This is Hobbii Soft Alpaca. This 100% alpaca yarn features 36 colors. The colorway that we chose is 42 light brown natural. This 50-gram skein with 165 meters or 180 yards works up as a fingering weight yarn. The suggested gauge on a US 2.5 or 3 millimeter needles is 27 stitches and 38 rows per 4 inches or 10 centimeters. For our swatch, I will be using a 3.5 millimeter needle size. In today's video, we're going to review and score Hobbii Soft Alpaca using our 5 categories, which are availability, softness, traction, durability, and cost, to help you decide if this is the best yarn for you and your next project. Stay tuned until the end for a few pattern recommendations as well. Would you like to see how all of our yarns compare to one another or enter to win our monthly giveaway? Join our free newsletter linked in the description box below. Let's get started. For availability, we give Soft Alpaca a score of 1 out of 5. Located in Copenhagen, Denmark, Scandinavian brand Hobbii is an online craft store that features multiple different name brand lines of yarn, in addition to other yarn brands as well. Soft Alpaca is a yarn that was released by Hobbii and is only sold on their website. However, they do offer worldwide shipping, and it didn't take too long for me to receive this here in the United States. For softness, we give it a score of 4.8 out of 5. This yarn has the word soft in its name. We've had experience with this going really bad or really well. Well, we have one word to describe this yarn: cashmere. This yarn is so soft and it feels like butter. Not an ounce of irritation is in sight for my sensitive skin. It was such a treat. Because it is alpaca, it does have longer fibers sticking away from the strand of yarn, but I think it's a very nice and enjoyable amount rather than overwhelming. For comparison, it is softer than Drop Sky and not quite as soft as Cardiff Cashmere Classic. I'd say it's pretty comparable to Drop's Air. For a micron count or softness scale rating, we'd give it around a 17 micron count, softer than most of the alpaca yarns that we have reviewed on our channel to date. I love alpaca yarn because it reminds me of a mohair because it's fuzzy and a strand of wool held together with a less expensive price tag since its halo and fiber strand are all in one. And you don't have to spend hours color matching 2 different yarns together. Speaking of colors, look at that beautiful subtle heathering and coloration. I love it. If you're sensitive to wool yarns, or more specifically alpaca yarns, you shouldn't have any issues working with this yarn, but I absolutely recommend you making a swatch with it first and trying it out before you make an entire garment with it. And you are able to feel this yarn and 5 other yarns this month on Patreon if you'd like to check that out. When it comes to breathability, alpaca fibers contain air pockets that can provide great insulation in the winter, allowing it to keep you cool in the summer, making it naturally thermoregulating. For traction, we give it a score of 4.5 out of 5. With this being a looser spun 2-ply yarn, I still didn't experience any splitting, which was amazing. Because it is so soft, it was a pleasure to work with on my nickel-plated needles and not having any drag on my hands either. Now, depending on what time of year you work with this yarn and your climate, the warmth of your hands could cause some drag, but even at the end of a hot summer, it was still very enjoyable for me to be able to work with it. For durability, we give it a score of 4.5 out of 5. Typically, the higher of the twist, the more strength the individual strand of yarn has. However, alpaca is a strong fiber, especially when comparing it to, say, a merino yarn, so it doesn't necessarily need a high 4-ply twist. However, alpaca is prone to stretching out due to its natural elasticity, so pairing it with another yarn could keep your garment from growing too much. When it came to the stress test, the long fibers collected together more when feeling it with my hands, but luckily none of the traditional pill balls. And similar to a non-superwash wool yarn, Hobbii recommends that you hand wash and not tumble dry your projects made with this yarn. For cost, we give it a score of 3.1 out of 5. For being a 50-gram skein, you can expect to pay $13.10 US per skein, regular priced. That breaks down to about 7 cents per yard, meaning a size medium sweater would cost approximately $131. However, if you sign up for Hobbii's newsletter or check on their website frequently, you may be able to catch this yarn when it goes on sale. Overall, we give Hobbii Soft Alpaca a score of 3.58 out of 5. This is a beautifully soft alpaca yarn with a fuzzy halo and a fairly even stitch definition. It has a wide color selection and does go on sale if you keep an eye out for it. Although it is like a 2-in-1 yarn with its halo, I would probably still hold a strand of wool or even a mohair with it to keep it from stretching out, as alpaca tends to do. So we had a little look on Ravelry and wanted to share a few pattern recommendations with you, hopefully to inspire you if you're wanting to use this yarn for a project of your own. The first pattern is the Hiemal hoodie by Witre Design. It comes in 3 adult sizes and has a wide, oversized fit. It recommends holding 2 strands of yarn together to meet the DK weight gauge. To start, you cast on stitches at the forehead and work the hoodie backwards. Around the hoodie's top, stitches are picked up and it is worked top down to your desired length. It features a wide I-cord edge and a half fisherman's rib stitch. The next pattern is the Nord Pullover by Hanne Rimmen. It comes in 5 sizes with finished bust measurements ranging from 40 to 55 inches and recommends 6 to 10 inches of positive ease. It uses 2 strands of yarn to create a DK weight gauge, which you could use 2 strands of this yarn, or like the pattern, 1 strand of alpaca and 1 strand of wool. It is knitted in the round from the bottom up and then separated at the armholes. The shoulders are formed on the back using short rows. Then the front is knitted and the pieces are joined together by a 3-needle bind off. The sleeves are knitted top down directly into the armholes. A neck is finished with a knitted facing and twisted ribbing to match the bottom of the body and sleeves. It features an oversized fit and a colorwork stripe design. The last pattern is the Almue Shawl by Camilla. It comes in 1 size with finished measurements of 79 inches across at the wingspan and 33 inches at the center point. This triangle shawl features stripes and a simple lace pattern. It appears to be knit in a garter stitch, giving it a squishy texture. And if you look through the projects, which I recommend you do, you could make yours with stripes or even in a solid color for a more simplistic look. Have you used Hobbii Soft Alpaca yarn before? What yarn would you like for us to do a review on next? We would love to hear your thoughts and recommendations in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's review, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.